Hello, JP.
Hi TY, how are you doing?
I have some good days, and then yesterday I had it was a rough day. But I'm doing better today. I was dealing with sinus issues in my nose. It was just localized right in my nose, and it was so painful. But um after rest um and my body healing, I am 100% compared to how I was yesterday. So yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
All right, you're
How are
welcome.
you
You're
doing?
welcome.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing exceedingly great. Thank God for everything. Thank God for a
Ooh,
new day. Thank God for life and everything.
okay, okay, exceedingly. Ooh, maybe I might have to ask about that one. No, but that's great. So, everyone, welcome to Across the Waters, where we talk about all things culturally, faith, and we realize that we have more in common than not. So, today we are going to be discussing love across the waters. So, if you have when you watch this video and if you have any questions about what we talked about or would like to go deeper, please leave a comment in the comment section as you click the like button, as well as please subscribe and to help us get the video out, as well as helping us to grow. So, one of the questions, dating across the waters. So, what are some of the things that JP you think could be some hindrances in a long distance relationship?
Okay. I think that's a deep question, and but there are many factors when it comes to relationship, and there are many things that can cause hindrances. Part of it is unfaithful partner, a partner who is not faithful. Part of it is not being equally yoked, because even the Bible talks about that. And part of it is um okay, let me just mention those two. I think those are the things that can cause hindrances in the relationship. When are not partner are not equally yoked, it can lead to so many things like um, lack of submission. They can struggle with submission. They can struggle with perseverance. They can struggle with tolerance. They can struggle with communication. So these are the things that key point things that causes hindrance in relationship. So I just mentioned the most important thing. If if two people are not equally yoked, and they are not faithful, one of the partner, or two of a partner, both partner are not faithful in the marriage, it can cause so many things, because people can be equally yoked and yet maybe the other person is not faithful. So that can causes a lot of hindrances in marriages. And when it comes to marriages, I think there are so many um, things I mean, there are so many hindrances in marriage. Um, once God is out of it, out of the equation, there's going to be a lot of lapses. There's going to be a lot of breaks. You know, there's going to be a lot of broken glasses that only God can fix. And so when God is not there, it will be left unfixed, and that can cause hindrances, that can cause frustration in marriage. So that's what I have for that.
Okay. Well, we're not really talking about marriage here. We're talking about dating. So I want to piggyback, or or maybe that's not the word I'm looking for. I want to go back to what can be uh some hindrances when you're dating across the waters. And number one, communication differences. When you are dating someone that's from a different culture from you, there are certain words that you may say and it means one thing, and the other person could misinterpret that. And so you have to talk to each other and learn what these different words are. Some words are similar, universal, but other words are not. And so you have to be patient with one another in learning and teaching each other about these different communication styles. It can even it doesn't stop at the words and what the meaning is, how you actually communicate. Some may be very short and blunt, others may be longer in explanations. And so you have to try to come to a happy medium with that. So that is one. If you're not able to overcome the communication differences, or be willing to teach each other what these meanings are, that's going to be a hindrance. The second one, in a long distance relationship, depending on where the person is from, it can be a financial expectation or burden. Because if you are dating someone, let's say, who is um, when it comes to talking on the phone or talking, yeah, because you're in two different countries. So a lot of your communication is going to be on the media, the social media tools, and with your phone. So it could, like, for an example, let's say if you date somebody in Nigeria, well, they have data, and you can talk more to that part, but you have to subscribe, and that's money. And the way the data goes and how you go about that is different. The person is going to need to have a phone. Well, of course, well, I don't know. It's like over here, you can have a phone and be paying on it and not own it outright. But I think over in Nigeria, they don't have that method. You have to have the money, the full amount, and purchase it before you have the phone. But that is one of the things, the financial thing of that. If you're using um, like the different tools like WhatsApp, and though WhatsApp is free, but it requires you have to have access to the internet, which would be data and that type of thing. So that's going to be an expense right there. You may not be across the waters, but you may be across states and you're dating. And so that's going to cost, because you're going to have to spend money to take plane tickets or however you choose to transport yourself to go and meet that person. So that's going to cost something. So it's definitely more expensive when you're dating across the waters or across the states, as opposed to if you're dating right there in the same place of that person. So that is something you have to uh, put into the equation. And speaking to across the waters, if you want to go visit that person, oh my goodness, and they're in another country, that's going to be an astronomical price unless you're able to get a really good deal or something, but that's going to be even more expensive um, when you're talking about across the waters. So those are two of the hindrances that I think that that could be a hindrance to love across the waters. Do you have anything, JP, you want to add to that?
Not really. I think you've said it all.
Oh, okay. And I do want to say when you mention about unequally yoked, though, I when I hear that, I think more like two people who are married or about to get married. But I think it's good you did bring it up because before you're married, you're dating. So it's like you find out a lot during the dating period. So you don't wait till you get married to be equally yoked. You date somebody that you're equally yoked with. So I agree with that. um if that person you're dating, if if you are a Christian and the other person is like, I could take it or leave it, you don't need to date that person because that is gambling with your life, that that person may turn to Christ or they may not, or they may. No. Unequally yoked, if you're a person that, let's say, the one person is a social drinker and you don't drink at all, don't be with that person because that may seem like a insignificant thing, but you marry somebody who drinks and and I don't know, and you don't drink at all, then if you marry that person, you cannot try to change them. You cannot be upset if they are drinking because you knew that going into the marriage. And so yes, definitely being equally yoked, for sure.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
mhm. Yes, yes. I'll just say this really quick. The dating period, that's a time you should ask questions. If someone is like,
Exactly.
if someone tries to, your dating deter you and get agitated because you are asking questions about their family, about, their lives, there may be stuff in the past and present, that's somebody that's trying to hide something and run quick because that is not something that's secret, especially if this is a potential person you may be marrying and they don't want to talk about and they're secret about, oh, don't ask me that question, or oh, I don't want to talk about it. Really? No, no, no. You know, don't take that as a big red flag because during a dating, that's when you ask all the questions because you're getting to know the person and you're getting to find out if this is somebody you will want to spend the rest of your life with. So don't play around with that. Ask the questions, especially if it's important to you. You need to ask the questions, and hopefully, the person won't lie to you, but you can pray and be like, Lord, if this person is lying, please reveal it to me because I'm not all knowing like you. So that's how you can cover that. But do your research, get to know that person because that's what the dating period is about. You're courting each other. You're courting to see, can I deal with this person? Because the person is not perfect and you're not perfect either. But you got to look at the parts that you do see, that if you never have seen the person you're courting ever get angry, then I think that's important to see, because you want to know, how does this person react? How does this person react when they are happy, when they're sad? All those different things. Don't shy away from that. Because if you just want all lovey-dovey good stuff and you never see the other side, and then after you get married, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know he had a temper like that, or he yelled, or the man is like, oh, that woman can cuss like a sailor. I didn't think she I didn't know, or whatnot. No, these things need to come out of this is who I am. And then if you choose to still want to be with me, you can choose not to. But yes, so that's what I'll say about that. So now we're moving to the next part. So what, JP, confuses you most about dating culture in my country? Or is there something that confuses you about dating culture in my country?
No, I don't think there is anything that confused me, with the dating culture in your country.
Okay. Okay. So are Nigerian men more romantic or more traditional?
I mean, most Nigerian men are more traditional. Let me say 90% men in Nigeria are traditional.
So what's the difference between so what does that mean? That they're more traditional than romantic. What does that mean?
I think most Nigerian men yearn for control, and they want to take charge of their family, and they want a submissive and respectable woman. So Nigerian man are family oriented, so they are more traditional, men, and they love to do things in the way which God, want it to be. So Nigerian men are more traditional when it comes to marriage.
Okay. Um, do you think American women expect too much
I can't really say everybody has their culture and how they're being brought up, and that had so much to do in how we behave and how we tend to see things. We only see things differently when we go outside our culture to see how other people practice their culture. I don't think there's something bad with the American culture if that's their culture. But Nigeria, the culture is that men yearn for, submission from their women, and not necessarily because they want to override the women or they want to oppress the women. No, that's not it. Nigerian men just want to lead their family. Understand? They want their wife to follow while the children follow, just like the order of God, and provide for the family. Mm.
Okay. Um, do you think a man should always pay on dates? So, do you think the man should always pay on dates?
I don't think the man should always pay on dates, because date is not necessarily a place where you go and eat. Date can be in a park where two people just walking together and get to ask questions and get to know each other. Dates can even be in the rain. Date is something you should enjoy, and date can even be in a car. You sit down and just talk and know each other. Date can be in the restaurant, depending on wherever you want to. So date shouldn't be a place where you eat and drink. You're not hungry. So I think date is a place where two people get to know each other. Yeah, if you offer each other something to eat, fine, depending on how you want fun, how fun you want it to be. But date should be fun because both should ask questions to get to know each other, not to eat. So
Oh,
that's my opinion when it comes to dating. So when it comes to like, oh, maybe the man or the woman has to pay or anything, anybody can show kind gesture.
mm, okay. Oh, I wanted to just mention when you're talking, if you, I don't know if you are real close to the microphone, but to kind of pull back a little bit because it can uh, be a little hard to understand because it's really like loud. So I just wanted to mention that because what you're saying is really some good stuff, and I want people to be able to hear it. Okay, so do you think marriage is viewed more seriously in Nigeria?
I haven't been in other parts of the world, but in Nigeria, marriage is because family are involved in Nigerian marriages. Yeah, family are involved, so that makes it more solid. So, but marriages, depending on everywhere, marriages is almost the same everywhere. But just in Nigeria, because the family are rooted in the marriage, the family engaged in the marriage, both family, from the man side, from the woman side, they all, roots into the marriage. Like they all contribute into the marriage when two people are coming together. So that makes marriage to last. And when things happen, the family comes together to settle it, not just bringing lawyer into matter or bringing the matter to public. The family tend to sit down and see how they can resolve the matter between the two couple.
Okay, okay. Um, okay, this is the last question. What do you think makes someone marriage material in your culture? What do you think? And I'll answer it over here in the States as well. But what makes someone marriage material in your culture?
Okay, I think there are so many factors to that. What makes a woman to be, or or a woman to be marriage material person is, I think, number one, for the man side, your ability to provide, your ability to protect, and your ability to um, lead. So these three things are very significant when it comes to the man side. I'm not saying necessarily everybody um, have these features, but that's the major features when it comes to the man side. Ability to provide, like I said, ability to lead, and ability to protect. So, and on the woman side, ability to help, ability to, you know, um, manage the home, nurture, you know, and you know, be submissive and be supportive. So these are the things that had to be when it comes to um marriage material. For someone to be a marriage material person, you need to, embody these pictures.
Okay. Well, some of the things over here in the States, when people say what makes someone marriage material, they look at the person's maturity level. They look at if the person is able to provide for themselves, like have some stability. Um, and and that's mostly what I would say some people, and the list could be longer, but those are some of the most things they look at. They look at the person financially, like are they marriage material in that sense. They look at the maturity level because marriage is a lifetime commitment, so they look at that, and then whatever other things they want in a marriage. Like as a Christian, you want someone that you are equally yoked with, and so that's important. And those who, let's say, maybe who are not Christians, they may look at, okay, is this person, is they serious, or do they still want to live like a single person? Is this person, um, you know, uh, or that's mostly, I say, those are mostly the things they look to see if the person is serious, their maturity level, and financially as well, and to see, yeah, those would be the things. Or they can they be submissive? That would be one. And so, can they be supportive? That would be another one that a person would look at. Okay, is this person marriage material? Can they be supportive? Um, and when I mean supportive, I'm meaning that can be financially. It could be uh, emotionally supportive. Um, those type of things. So, okay. Well, now we are to the fun segment. So, um, and basically the way this fun segment will be is, um, I'm gonna mention something, and then, um, we'll go from there. Like I'll ask a question, or I'm going to ask something, and we're going to talk on it a little bit. So the first one is a Nigerian man asking where you are all the time. Is that a red flag, or is that a cultural thing?
It's a cultural thing.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um, and you know what's so interesting? Because over here, it can sometimes be looked at like if like a lack of trust. Mm, it can be looked at as, some people might say, oh, that's being like you're being a stalker, obsessive. So that's interesting. See, that's another one of those things where it's good to talk, I mean, to discuss, because let's say, if you're dating maybe an American woman or a man, the woman dating the man, and and if you're, I don't know if Nigerian women, if they do this as well, but that's one of those things where you need to let the other person know, like, no, I'm not trying to be stalking, or or I don't trust you. That's just, I want to know, um, where you're at, because I care for you, I love you, or whatever the case may be. So, okay, number two, an American woman splitting bills. um, an American woman splitting bills. So, um, that is something that I have heard that people do. Couples do, that they split the bills. Now, we're not talking about marriage. We're talking about love, dating across the waters. So, I don't know how that one, I don't know how that one works, but okay. Oh, okay. All right. So, we're going to end on that note. So, if you have any other questions about this love across the waters, maybe we'll do a part two where we can talk a little bit more about it. But leave your comments in the comment section and tell us what you think about these things. We would like to know. Or if you're dating or have a love across the waters, let us know where you're at, where you're from. And until next time, uh, take care, everybody. Bye.